My name is Rabbi Wineberg. I'm broadcasting from Tzfat, the mystical city in Israel. Somebody just posted that tomorrow is October 7th. 2 years since the savages, the evil Islamists, and this is very important to understand. You know, there are three kinds of wars. There's the war, petty arguments. Sometimes, unfortunately, people like to argue. People watch, I don't know, boxing or wrestling or whatever. Not nice, but it happens. Nobody dies. Then there is real war. Now, there are two types of real wars. There are wars over possessions. There are wars over ego and empire, emperor. I don't know. China won't like me saying this, but China basically acts as an empire. They're looking to expand territory. They're not looking to die. They're looking to, in fact, expand China, right? Even Russia. They're not looking to, mutual assured destruction is not a good thing for them because they're looking for expansion. They're not looking for death. That's one kind of war. But there's another kind of war. And it's called a holy war, a jihad. And this is not a war looking for something. This is why we in the West, unless we understand this and the Moshiach comes, to save ourselves from ourselves, basically it will go down in a nuclear explosion. And the reason for that is because the holy war has nothing to do with land. It has everything to do with religion. And, some people think, oh, well, religion caused wars. No, some religion caused wars. Other religions didn't cause war. The idea of religion, the idea of Judaism, is that there shouldn't be war. It says in the Bible, don't kill. Don't even have a war for expansion. You should live in peace and harmony. That's the idea of God and Judaism. But Islam is, and this is the one thing, thank God I've studied a little bit about Islam. This is the one thing that people in the West don't understand. Islam is both a religion as well as an offensive, aggressive mechanism to impose that religion, a holy war, and that's how it began. I don't want to take too much time on Islam, but basically the way Islam began was Muhammad decided that he was a prophet, a person that God speaks to. Well, he came to the Jewish people that lived in Arabia, and they were like, we don't think you're a prophet. And then he went to his Arabs, his brothers, and they were like, well, we don't even believe in one God. We believe in multiple gods. So, just get out of our lives. So he came up with a tactic. And his tactic is called jihad, which is, okay, here you have a choice. And he had a band of people, and in fact, an imam, and in fact, this imam wanted peace. He told me, Muhammad was involved in the 30 years of his quote-unquote leadership. He was involved in 4 wars. 4 wars. Anybody that was made 4 wars every single year of their life, that's 30 times 4. What is that, 120? That's an awesome amount of fighting. And so basically he was a gang. He was just a gang. And they went and they raped and they stole and they killed. And he told his people that if you do this, you will get to heaven. And that's how Islam expanded. They went and they, if you joined them, you would be allowed to live. And if you didn't join them, they would kill you, take the women as sex slaves, exactly what ISIS did. And so this has not ended. Now, it's not to put all Muslims in that category. Not all Muslims are looking for violence. But all of those that are going to war against us, all of those, Palestinian Authority, quote unquote, the Muslim Brotherhood, which the Palestinian Authority comes from the Muslim Brotherhood, which is the founder of Hamas, which is ISIS, which is Al Qaeda. So all these people, in fact, according to the Egyptian newspaper, Obama Hussein was part of the Muslim Brotherhood, which makes a lot of sense because he put them in power in Egypt. And even after Egypt got rid of them, he kept them in the State Department, which they may still be there as we speak. He supported ISIS. He supported all the radical groups. Basically, it's all one thing. It's that Islam should expand with violence. Violence is justified because it is a holy war. We are here to bring the will of God to the world, and the will of God is a basic statement of Islam. There's one God, and Muhammad is a prophet. And until the whole world bends its knees, which is the whole idea of Islam, to bend, to submit to that idea, we will attack and attack and attack. And one of the ways of attacking, which a lot of people don't understand, is through immigration, right? So Obama created basically a refugee crisis, and he told all the foolish Americans, bring in the refugees, help them. Sounds good, but who are these refugees? Well, one of them just killed Jews in Manchester. In other words, they're terrorists. And so the correct response to people that want to kill you is kill them first. There is no other response to Hamas but their death. And what Israel and what America are doing is they're dilly-dallying with your life, because it's just a matter of time. Israel gave away, stupidly, a part of Israel. And what happened? Did we get peace? No, because they don't want peace. They want Islam to rule the world. And the last thing I'll say on the subject is called the Ummah. The Ummah, and you can check this out. Just go to ChatGPT, ask what is the Ummah. And it will say, what is the greatest goal? Ask, what is the greatest goal of Islam? The greatest goal of Islam is the Ummah, that Islam should dominate the earth. How's that going to happen? Through violence. It's just the way it is. Islam has never been stopped except through counter-offensive. There is no amount of peace deals. In fact, the reason that the American army exists was because of Muslim Barbary pirates, as they're doing till this very day, would capture Americans, put them into slavery, and they wanted to make deals. They said, no, this is what Islam tells us to do. Literally, they believe that God tells them to kill you. If you're a woman, to rape you. This is what they believe. This is what they're doing. They will continue to do it unless we elect presidents and prime ministers that understand that their death is your life. It's just that simple. And as we speak now, this very moment, there are Jews being tortured, being starved, being chained in the freaking dungeons of Gaza. If I was the prime minister, I would have done exactly what the Rebbe said. You have 5 minutes to release all the Jews, or Gaza doesn't exist anymore. There's no reason to be dealing with terrorists. If we want to be nice, you got 5 minutes to give in to our demands. Otherwise, it doesn't exist. There shouldn't be a single Israeli soldier that lost a life for this stupid battle. 1 5-minute warning, give us back our hostages, or you're all dead. 1 rocket, next rocket, you're all dead. It's very simple. There is no other way. And the last thing I'll say on this subject, and I hope somebody of sanity will understand this. Islam does not care. Statement from, I think it was Nasser, right, who made a war against Israel, or was it Sadat? One of them. He said, I don't mind losing 1 million, right? Officially, it's his people. 1 million Egyptians. I don't mind losing 1 million Egyptians as long as we get the land of Israel. Understand? They don't care about life. In fact, if they die in jihad, Muhammad promised them 72 wide-eyed virgins in some kind of brothel in heaven, which is a disgusting concept that they're working to rape women in a brothel. I mean, this is insanity of insanity. But be that as it may, the bottom line is, I feel like I've gone on too long, but bottom line is simple. If a child comes and he has bad behavior, and you reward that bad behavior, what will he do? He'll do more of it, because it gives him what he wants. If you reward terrorism with what they want, which is land, what will they do? They will do more of it. Every time anyone, including a Muslim, is killed by these evil, sadistic, jihadist, holy war people, at least 1 mile of land should be taken away from Islam. And I'm telling you, it would stop the whole problem overnight, because that's what they care about. They care about land. Everybody that dies, take away 1 mile of land. Immediately, Israel should take back the West Bank, take back Gaza. It would end the problem, because all they want is they want more land. If the West had a policy, anyone, including Muslims, because the most people that die are the decent Muslims from these people, which are at least 50 million, according to conservative estimates, very vocal, very violent, very organized, thanks to Qatar and others, very wealthy. Unless we literally take away land for every single person that dies, we'll keep on going because they have not only have nothing to lose, this is their religious obligation. So in conclusion, as we come up to October 7th, 2 years, so many lives lost. Why? For one reason. Because we did not understand that this has nothing to do with land. Sorry, it has nothing to do with displaced people. There are no such things as Palestinians. It's all Islam. It's all the Muslim Brotherhood. It has nothing to do with a people seeking a land. They're not looking for expansion. Like we said, there are 3 kinds of wars. This is not a war for expansion. This is a war for Islam. And until we understand it, until we fight what Islam will lose, right, then it will be more death, more death. And the silly liberals are like Churchill said, if you feed a crocodile, hoping that it will eat you last, that's an appeaser. They're just like, oh, we're on your side. You know, there were Jews during the Holocaust that unfortunately worked for the Nazis because they wanted to save their life. And I remember the story. So these sick Nazis, they gathered the Jews, they shot. And the last one, the one that helps, we'd like to thank Mr. whatever, Goldschmidt for helping us. And then they shot him in the head. You're just the next one on the list because right now you're a useful idiot. But when they finish with the ones that they can kill, or that they need to kill first, the religious ones, because the ones that understand truth and are standing in the way, then you're next. It's kind of that simple. And last but not least, if you don't believe me, look at a video of any Muslim, and there are many of them that have grown up in that society and they have rejected it. And everything that I'm saying is soft compared to what they'll say because they know it from the inside. So if you value your life, if you value your children's life, if you value life itself, you will share this video with whoever can make a difference. Because unless you, like Aristotle says, unless you deal with a small problem, the small problem becomes a big problem. We don't have a big problem. We have a cancer that's metastasized. It's all over Europe. It's in the West. It's everywhere. We have a huge existential problem. And unless it's dealt with, which between me and you, politicians that are just looking to eat well are not going to deal with it. This problem ain't going to be dealt with. So what's the solution? The only solution is a spiritual solution. We're coming to Sukkot. Sukkot is a time of joy. It's no coincidence that this happened on Simchas Torah, the time of joy, the greatest time of joy, and it's coming back 2 years later on Sukkot. And the only thing that's going to beat this, because no army, no one's really going to save you. I hate to say it. No one's going to save you. The only thing that will save you is joy. There's a story in the Holocaust, and there was a group of young men that came, and it was Simchas Torah at night, and it was by the gas chambers. They decided we're going to dance at Simchas Torah, and they danced, and the Nazis, of course, couldn't handle the joy of the Jews. So the Nazis said, okay, stop the gas chamber. He said, tomorrow I'm going to torture you all to death, because he needed them to be sad. And then that night, some officer came, and he needed workers, and all of those people, their lives were saved. The Simchas Torah that this occurred, I created, in a sense, another hakafas, because it was a time where we call it a second hakafas, second dance, and we danced and we sang. Somebody said, how are you singing and dancing in this situation? I said, I'm trying to overcome the situation through joy. So my friends, militarily, we're screwed. It ain't going to happen. So we only have one solution, and that is joy. The Lubavitcher Rebbe said that, trust me, joy will bring Moshiach. Now is the time that we download joy for the year is Sukkot. And so now is the time that every second of Sukkot, be happy. No matter what happens, just be happy, be happy, be happy, be happy. And if you can do that in these 7 days, I promise you, I guarantee you spiritually, you will cause the Moshiach to come. You will cause the one thing that will save us. So let us make a collective effort to realize that literally happiness will save our lives. And if that's what it takes to be happy, it's worth it. Good luck.